Computer mouse, the 1980s. What's happening? It's the 1980s and everybody wants a home computer. Companies are coming out of the woodwork to make computers. Steve and Steve are making better computers at Apple, and Bill is writing software for every computer company. Well, except Steve and Steve's. They don't like Bill, and Bill don't like them.
Introducing Macintosh. It does all the things you'd expect a business computer to do. It does a lot of things you wouldn't expect a business computer to do. And it does some things no other business computer has ever done before. Of course, to do all this, you will have to learn to do this. Macintosh from Apple.
How much do you think this advanced operating environment is worth? Wait just 1 minute before you answer. Watch as Windows integrates Lotus 123 with Miami Vice. Now we can take this Ferrari and paste it right into Windows Right. Now how much do you think Microsoft Windows is worth? Don't answer. Wait until you see Windows Right and Windows Paint, and then listen to what else you get at no extra charge. The MS-DOS Executive, an appointment calendar, a card file, a notepad, a clock, a control panel, a terminal, a print spooler, RAM driver, and can you believe it? Reversi. That's right. All these features in Reversi, all for just, how much did you guess? 500? 1,000? Even more? No, it's just $99. That's right. It's $99. It's an incredible value, but it's true. It's Windows from Microsoft. Order today. P.O. Box 286 DOS, except in Nebraska.
So where did the mouse come from? Did Steve and Steve invent it? Nope. Did Bill invent the mouse? No. This guy invented the mouse. His name is Doug Engelbart, and he invented the mouse in 1967. Why did he call it the mouse? I don't know. You tell me. Ideas. Doug's great idea came from his other attempts at building a hand control interface with a computer monitor. Take a look at this. This thing right here is a bowling ball, and the bowling ball sits inside of these mechanisms. When you roll the ball back and forth, it changes the XY axis.
The first prototype computer mouse was invented in 1963 by a man named Douglas Engelbart at the Stanford Research Institute with the assistance of his colleague Bill English. At the time, Engelbart was busy on a much bigger project aimed at augmenting human intellect. During this research, the invention of the mouse came to the fore. The first mouse was bulky, carved out of wood, and only had one button. It worked with two metal wheels which made contact with the working surface. Unfortunately, Engelbart never received any royalties for his invention, as his patent ran out before it became widely used in personal computers.
The man never received any money for his computer. Well, a little bit of money, and we'll talk about that. You see, when he invented the mouse, he had to get a United States patent so that no one else could copy the idea. That's what he did. Here you see Doug's U.S. patent from 1967, 9 years before our friends Steve and Bill came into play. However, Doug never made any money from the mouse, like we said. Why? Maybe the mouse was too far ahead of its time. Maybe nobody needed a mouse then, or never saw its usefulness. Until the 1980s when Steve and Bill heard about it. By then, Doug couldn't sell his idea. His patent is run out. He could only lease it or rent it. And who did he rent it to? Who else? That's right. Our friends, Steve and Bill. $40,000 and thank you very much. They knew they had to act fast. They each paid Doug $40,000 to rent the idea, and then they said goodbye. When the agreement was over, Steve and Bill were free to call their mouse their own, and they sold billions. Billions. Let's take a look at some mouses. Yep, here's some Apple clickers. Look at those clunky things. No, thank you. Ooh, this is probably an early Microsoft mouse. 3 buttons. Come on. Here's an early version of the mouse. Notice the 2 wheels. That's right. You had to tip it one way to go on the X and Y axis. Then you had to tip it the other way. Look at that plug. Eesh. Hey, there's a mouse that's a mouse. I hope that wasn't real. There's my favorite spaceship mouse. I want that one. What does the future hold for the mouse? Will we control our computers with our eyes? Our fingers? Who knows? Maybe someday you guys will invent it. And that's the history of the mouse.